Are fixing this Microsoft Surface tablet. As you can see, the battery is going bad in there. This is how it looks, and the screen is about to be cracked. So what we have to do is just remove, put in our hot plate, and make sure this is an LCD, so you gotta be careful not to add too much heat or to add too much alcohol. Otherwise, the screen will have some stains. We're gonna need a little bit of isopropyl alcohol and some, like a little razor blade, and we are going to start. So as you can see right now, this part is right here is lifting. So we're gonna start applying isopropyl around the edge to make sure we're having a good way to open it without damaging it. These are very expensive screens, and if you are not careful about it, you might end up damaged. If you damage the screen, it's going to be more expensive to fix. The main issue with this computer is the battery. The battery got bloated, so now it needs to be replaced. So you can see right now, you can see the gap is getting big. I'm surprised. Hopefully the screen is not damaged. So we gotta be careful with this. When we do it, we just do a little bit in here. We put a little bit of alcohol, just like a little lift. Be very patient, be very careful, and then you want to do it the same over the other side. Like I said, be very patient, very careful, otherwise you end up damaging more components, and it's not going to be cost efficient. So you can see right now, we need to find out what type of battery is this using, so we can remove it and order it. But like always, just use a little patience, otherwise you end up with bad results, and you don't want to do that. You want to keep your customers happy. So right there, you can see, just applying a little bit of isopropyl around, and then just bringing the blade over. This is very strong adhesive, so you gotta be very careful. Just a little bit of isopropyl, so hopefully you can get under the there we go. So right now it's like it's getting open a little more. The battery is for sure expanding a little more, but hopefully we can get it. Let me get my tweezers. So with the tweezers, I'm going to try to grab the double-sided tape, as you can see right here, to see if we can get it to peel. From this side. So right now we are having a good gap right here. This type of jobs require a lot of patience, otherwise you end up with breaking the screen, and you don't want to do that. Apply isopropyl around it. There we go. So the battery itself got it. See how fluffy it is in there? This is a really bad battery already. Look, apply a little more isopropyl around it, around the edge, and I'm pretty sure the pressure of the battery is gonna lift it. There we go, a little bit more in there. Just let it pretty much the work of the isopropyl go through. As you can see, the battery is all fluffy. Now you gotta be careful. You have to keep looking for any inside components so you don't damage them. This is a Microsoft Surface tablet. It needs to be, I think it needs a little bit more heat in the front. So I'm just gonna put it in there. There we go. And I can probably just go from here, apply a little bit of isopropyl around it. Make sure it's gonna be lifting. With the same pressure of the battery. Okay. So you can see this is how it's going. The battery is getting super bad, so you gotta be careful with this one and just keep working around it. A little bit of isopropyl in there, and you just keep lifting, doing it with a lot of being careful about it. So the pressure of the battery is making the screen come apart, basically. So alright, so we are halfway. We're doing this little by little, making sure it's not gonna cause any more issues. And then if possible, we just start lifting. Always make sure that you're not damaging any of the connectors. So I'm just gonna lift it, put it upside down, and then do the suction one more time. That way we can get from the bottom. Just be careful. This is a Microsoft Surface 3. One of the older ones, but this is a business one. Alright, just lift it little by little, not to using a lot of strength, otherwise you break the screen, and the screens are a little expensive to replace on these ones, because these ones are like 12-inch screens. So you can see this is the progress we have, and the main issue, like I said, is going to be the battery. The battery is damaged, so it's getting all fluffy. It's expanding under the case, and it's lifting the screen, which is not good because it can explode on any minute or restarting fire. So it's a higher hazard, basically. We go with the thing, just like very carefully. Keep lifting little by little. Using a little bit of alcohol. And you just be careful not to force too much, otherwise, like I said, if you break it, it's game over. You're gonna have to buy more. You're want to have to buy the screen, you want to have to pay for the screen if you're doing it for business. I do this type of work. I do computer repair, cell phone repair, tablet repair, any kind of a computer. I do micro soldering. So if you guys like this type of content, don't forget to follow so you guys can check my other videos and learn a little bit on how to do this. If you like to do it yourself, that's a good way to check those videos out there. And I noticed it's been helping some people because I have some computer repairs, and I got some messages from people saying that the video help if I can do more repairs and stuff like that, or what can do. So if you guys have any questions, feel free. I'll be more than happy to answer. Alright, so this is right here is getting a little it's very strong adhesive, so I don't normally like to. I like to take my time because I want to get the screen without breaking it. Maybe I need a little more heat on this side. Just let me sit it on the heating plate. I just don't want to put it too much in the heat because it's bad. The screen is bad, or the battery is bad. And if we put a little more heat, it's not going to be good. So, alright. Spray a little bit of alcohol in there. I'm just going to. Taking quite a bit of time, so I'm just gonna be very cautious about it. Applying a little bit of alcohol in there, and now I'm gonna use one of these suction cups. See if I can get it out a little faster. Like I said, these type of jobs require a lot of patience. If you're not patient enough, you might end up with breaking your devices. Okay, we have a little bit of a gap in there. And we go around. It's getting a little bit of a better gap right there. So go and put the suction cup a little this way, start lifting. As you can see, it's getting a little bit better. Let me put it that way. A little bit more isopropyl in there. And this is about to be done. Lifting a little bit. Careful about it. and it's out. Here it is. As you can see, the battery is very expanded. So yeah. Alright, now I'm gonna need a screwdriver to remove the screen connector. This is a Phillips screwdriver, a small one. And if you are careful about it, oh, you need a star shaped one. But if you are careful about it, you can remove the screen without damaging the double-sided tape, and you can reuse it if you don't have to buy it again. Let's see if this one works. Hopefully it's the size I need. Otherwise I'm gonna grab my other tools. Yeah, this one works. The star-shaped screw. Actually, I think I just need to lift this little plate. Alright, so let me just check. As you can see, the screen is still seems to be in good shape. The problem is just to remove the connector. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is just try to remove it. I'm gonna remove the battery because this is the battery. Three. This is how you open it, and as you can see, if you are careful about it, you can use the double-sided in it because already is very sticky. So that's a tip for you. Alright, that's gonna be it for right now. I'm gonna remove the battery and I'm gonna make a video. Follow me, I'll post it. Thank you. This is the second part of this repair. We have a Microsoft Surface with a bloated battery. So as you can see right now, the first video I made was how to remove the screen because the battery was getting super foggy. And now that we have the battery, we're gonna continue with the repair. We got the battery here. This is the one we need for it. This is the one we need. So we're gonna continue with this repair. As you can see right now, the battery was getting super bloated. And now we're gonna replace it. So to start, we're gonna remove the screen. And to do so, we normally bring the screen this way, and we're gonna remove. So we flip it this way, and then we're gonna lift the little latch over here. There's the little latch right there, and we lift the ribbon. We remove the screen, and that's gonna be it. So now with this one, I tried getting ahead a little bit because these sometimes are really hard to remove, but now I'm going to show you how to do it. So right now I don't want this the battery to go back and get stuck in there. So what I did, I just put a little tools on there so it doesn't get back again, and it's going to be hard to remove. Now we are going to need a little screwdriver. Oh, this one is a star shape. Couple star-shaped screws. Let's see if we find the right one so we can remove them. And this one right here is where the connector of the batteries is kind of hiding. So in order for us to do that, we're going to remove those screws, and then we're going to need to remove these two screws from here. It's going to be two screws in here. Okay, see. This one, you gotta make sure you got a nice screwdriver with a good grip, otherwise you will damage your screws, and it's gonna be really hard for you to remove them. Since, like in this case, it looks like it's super. They're like different sizes. One screw is gonna fit and the other one won't, but you make sure to have a couple of them or a good set, otherwise you run into issues. Now we want to remove these two, this one right here and this one right here. There's one more right here, and this is because we need to lift the motherboard up in order for us to remove the connector. Alright, so you can see that the battery is very stuck in there. It's a very strong adhesive. Now we gotta be careful not to damage. Alright, just want to use my scissors to cut a little bit of the adhesive. It's very strong adhesive right there. And then what we want to do, we're going to lift the motherboard a little bit up with our opening tool, and then we're going to pull the battery. Probably going to need this side also. So between the battery, the motherboard, and being careful about it, and just like that. So there's like a little hole holding it, you can see right there, so you gotta be careful with this one. Okay, this is the bad one. You can see the difference from batteries. We got the new one in here. You will see the difference. See, this one is nice and flat, this one is all bloated, so this one is not good. Now we're gonna bring the we're gonna install the battery the same way we did. We pulled that one. Alright, so what we wanna do is just bring it under the main board. Lift the main board a little bit, not just give me a second, let me see. Gotta make sure this one is gonna be under. There we go. And now we are going to bring the connector. I'm trying to find out a good way to do it because these things are on the way. If there is no way, we otherwise we're going to need to remove the whole motherboard, and that's going to be extra work. So I want to try doing this. And let's see, just bringing this under. The thing is, like, the connector needs to be under. The little pins that are going to be in there. It's going to be a little hard to do with one hand, but it can be done. So I'm going to go like this. Let's see if I can get it in this way, otherwise I'm gonna have to remove the motherboard, and it's gonna be a little more work. Yep, it's not letting me do it. Let's remove this plastic so that way I can bend the battery. The thing is, like, this battery is getting stuck under. There we go. Yeah, this is a little tricky to do. It's not letting me do it, so I'm gonna have to remove the screws over here and then pull the whole motherboard out. So let's do it. I'm gonna remove a couple of screws from the top. We're gonna have to remove the entire board out of it. So it's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws. Just keep good track of them so you don't lose them or mix them. Sometimes there are like different shapes, different sizes. So you need to make sure you're putting everything back together to the exact same place. I don't think I need to remove that one. We're just gonna skip that one. See. And this is one more right here. Yes, at the end I needed to remove it. So we keep track of our screws. And then now we're gonna lift this little bracket up slowly. I'm gonna need a pray tool. See if I use a little blade. There it goes. Careful with this one because they're like, if they bend, you might break them. So gotta be gentle. There's a little bracket right there. There we go. So we have this part. This one goes out, and now we have 2 more screws right here holding the motherboard down. There's a different size right there. Let's see if this one fits. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it won't Okay, we need a different screwdriver. Let's see if I have one on here. I have so many different types and shapes. They're so different. So, like I said, you have to find the one with a good grip, the one with the good fit. Because if you force it, you might damage the screws, and it's gonna be harder to remove. So let's keep looking to see if we find one that is gonna fit the right one there. Let's see, I think this one is gonna be the one. Nope, it's not fitting. So many different types, shapes, sizes. Let me grab another one. So that's gonna be this one right here. Oh, still it's not the same size. That's not going in. Yeah, it's a star shaped screwdriver that I need, and I have so many, but this one is so different. It's a different size. It won't have a grip. This one too small. And it looks like I found one. Nope. Still won't fit. Let me see if I have one right here. This one might fit in there. That's crazy how many different size, and I think I got that one, this one. Let's see. Find one. We found one. So this one, we finally got it. So you have to have quite a bit of screwdrivers, because if you don't find the right one, you want to have to hunt for it, and otherwise you want to have to order them. But we got it out. So that one we're going to try to lift now. The main board is making a little bit of an inspection to see if is there anything else that we need to separate. I just disconnect the speaker right there, and it looks like maybe the motherboard is glued to the case. So I'm going to use a little bit of heat. I just need to lift a little bit more to be able to enter, to insert the battery. The things like this, a little hole that goes in there. It's a very weird shape type of battery. It's now going in, and we gotta be careful, otherwise we don't want to bend we don't want to bend those pins in under, otherwise the it won't charge. Alright, it looks like I might be able to get it this time. Yep. Alright, so finally we got it in. I'm gonna pull this spray tool out. I'm gonna leave it on there so it doesn't get stuck again. Just to make sure it's gonna be centered. Right there. So now you can see we're gonna be using the exact same glue that came with the original. We're just gonna let it lay it like that. We got it all nice and centered. We just let it drop. There we go. So we got it in. Now we're gonna have to put everything back together. Okay, don't forget to connect everything. We have that. Now we are going to start with this up bracket. Making sure it's nice and secured in place. And now we are going to put this one back, and once we put these ones in, we're gonna have to test the battery to make sure it's the one that the battery is gonna charge. So okay, so this is the one. Screw doesn't want to go in. You have to find the right screwdriver for this type of. There we go. It's all the way in. Make sure you put it right where it belongs. Otherwise, if it's longer, you might damage or it won't go in. This is one right here. We have one more right here. Okay, I think this is the right one for this one right there. Okay, making sure everything is going all the way in. Otherwise it won't, the screen, when we put the screen back together, it won't close flat. Okay, now we need these two screws. Let's put those two back in place. And then we can test the screen to make sure everything is going to work before we put everything back together. Always test your work. And make sure the battery is going to charge anyway. This is the one. Alright, so now before we put everything back in place, we are going to test the battery. And in order for us to do that, we're going to need the screen. The screen is going to be over here. And we normally just go down here, lift the little bracket, and just insert the ribbon, put the latch down. I'm just going to put a couple of guitar picks in here so the screen don't get glued back in place. Let's see, and I'm going to need the charger. I think I'm going to have two. You know what, since this one is a docking station, because we don't have the charger for it, we are just going to put everything back in place and then just trust on our work. Everything should work, everything should be good to go. So what I'm going to do is just flip the screen over like this and then put all the screws back in place. Alright, so now this one is not fitting. I wish there was like only one size of screw. It's not working either. So many different sizes. Okay, once we finish with this one, we're going to test the screen. We're going to connect this one into the docking station and make sure the battery is going to charge and the screen is going to work. So alright, we have all the screws back in. I'm going to remove our guitar picks and we are just going to center the screen. Good. I'm not going to press all the way in yet because I need to make sure it's going to charge. So we're going to connect our docking station. Okay, so we have that one. And it's powering on. Right now it's telling that it's a little hot because it wasn't the heating plate, so it won't power on, but we have an image. Okay, So shutting down. What I'm gonna do now, just put everything back together, make sure it's gonna be all sealed around, and that should be it for today. We have other devices I'm gonna be working on today. We have a MacBook that needs a new screen, so if you like this, don't forget to follow. I have some more videos over there. I'm gonna do screen replacement on an iPad. This is a battery from an iPad I did. So don't forget to follow, and if you want to watch more videos we have it on our channel. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and follow. Until the next one. Thank you.